today I'm going to take a different turn. Today I'm not doing any topical discussion. I'm doing questions and answers. So there are people who have been asking me a lot of questions, and I felt like ever since I started, I've never answered them, all of them, very adequately, because I was picking every question and doing a topic on every question that was being asked. So I felt, why not just take some time in one episode and just answer some of these questions. So on today's episode, I'm going to answer just a few of these questions, and then I'm going to continue with in other episodes to also continue answering the questions as we continue to learn and just be there for one another to build up this industry, to build up the creative industry, so that it can earn back its respect the way it was during the beginning times. So guys, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Subscribe, bwana. Let me give you a minute to at least subscribe. Huh? It cannot be. Nimekuwa 3 months consecutively nimejaribu sana kuwapatia content. So nawapatia information. Not only just content, but also some bit of information. So guys, subscribe. Good. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for watching and reaching out, and even for those who are commenting, for those who are liking, for those who are reaching out through my number and through the email with questions and with suggestions and maybe topics that you would want me to cover. Thank you so much. And guys, now let's delve in. So today, being that it's a day that I'm answering some of the questions that have been asked for so long, I will start with question number 1. So this is someone asked, why do we have less female filmmakers in the industry? So being that this is an industry that is so male dominated, of course there is an emergence of females, and there has been an emergence of females ever since from back in the time. And most of the time females walikuwa tu wanaemployiwa kufanya job to maybe on the editing and maybe doing some of those hard jobs, or maybe not very creative, but just some bit of easy jobs, maybe managerial, bit of it, yeah, kidogo tu hapo. So females hawakuwa so much involved. But right now, I know with the emergence of maybe these scholarships and also mentoring and empowerment programs, the females are rising, and it's a good sign that we are having females into this space. And because I know, guys, in this world, we have a lot of females than males. I think it will be fair if we have some group of females inside the production, rather than just have it so much male dominated, and we can have very nice brains from the females. The females actually have a very nice brain, and when you read back the history of editing, females were the ones who were doing editing, and they were really doing it so well. So because men saw it was a tedious process, because cutting those film files, it was a lot of tedious process. But now, yeah, they saw it need like manze, wacha tupe hii job wanawake, because wanawake ndo wanajua kukua very precise, wanajua design na kupanga vitu. So walikuwa mpewa job, but until some other time wakarealize na wanafanya kitu creative pia, so wakawatolewa. But anyway, being that this is something that is emerging, and we are looking forward, because the person who asked this question is a female, I'm looking forward to maybe having her on, just making sure that amefanya something. I'm looking forward to watching her movies, watching her documentaries, watching her projects online and any other spaces. Okay, good. The next question goes like this. So someone asked, does gear matter when it comes to film production? Yeah. So this is a yes or no answer. However, I'll start by strongly looking at it in form of no. So why do I say no? Because what matters, and what I believe matters when it comes to filmmaking is, first of all, you need a very good story, and then the next thing is you'll do some very good sound, and the other thing is now how you do your composition, your cinematography, based on the camera you are going to have. It doesn't matter if it's a high end or not high end, but depending on how maybe you're a low budget filmmaker or you're an independent filmmaker, some of these things you get with budgets. But now, because you don't have a budget, how do you work around? you go by making sure that you have a very nice story, then you tighten up your composition, even the kind of cameras you're going to use. They should be able to just give you some good shots, some good lighting, and also sound should be just perfect. You don't need those high end if you don't have the budget yet, okay? But also, yes, because it matters, because it depends where are you going to distribute your movie. If you want to distribute your content on certain platforms, there are requirements. I remember some time when you look at the videos in the previous section where I discussed about the requirements of the type of cameras, the type of sound you need to do when you want to distribute your content to Netflix, or you want to distribute for cinema. You want to be doing things just not without the precise camera requirements, or maybe recording with certain specifications of cameras and sound. So this is a yes or no, but strongly I'll start with no. It doesn't matter. What matters is a story, and also how you do composition and lighting and sound. Okay, then also performance, and also performance. So how the actors were performing and how the actors brought out the story through their performance. Okay, then somebody else asked, how do I better my story writing? Okay, how do you better your story writing? Of course, bettering story writing comes with you first of all also write that story, get feedback, then rewrite. Then also you need also to be watching movies, read scripts other people have written, and watch movies critically, those movies that have acclaimed some bit of good direction and good picture in terms of storytelling. So you watch them critically so that you can be able to learn one or two things, and also keep your stories simple, so that you don't complicate your stories and not having been able to, you don't know where you're going to conclude your story because it's so wide, it's so large, like everything else is happening. You don't know when to end what, when to begin what, and stuff like that. But yeah, when you keep it simple, you will have your story perfectly done and well done. So I think that is an adequate answer, but there are many lessons I've covered previously on how to improve and how to make sure that you have very gripping and nice stories. Okay, the other question is, where are the possible places to distribute independent films? So I know majority of us are independent filmmakers, and we have a lot of challenges when it comes to distribution. And distribution being that it's a challenge, we tend to sometimes ignore it because we don't know so much information about how we go about it. We just have a lot of information of how to shoot, but we don't have the information of where we are going to sell it or how we intend to market it. And a product or a project is not complete if it doesn't reach the market. This will be like a farmer. Mse amepanda maize zake, amezi harvest, ametumia ile process yote ya kupanda nini, ameweka fertilizer, amepalilia, amepanda, zimeshakuwa, akakuja sasa amevuna. What next? So unaona akivuna akaitunazo, it means there is nothing. Hajamaliza hiyo process. Lazima tuende tujue kama is he or she delivering these things, distributing this maize for charity, for business, for into the job market, for export and stuff like that. So what product zenye mna shoot, do you look at the end product and taking it seriously to the next phase of marketing after production or after post production? Yeah, so that is something we need to look at. So this question is a very good question, but I will answer it as follows. Of course, there are opportunities like VOD platforms. Right now you can be able to distribute. So if you have a YouTube that is already monetized, and you are a YouTube partner, that is a very advantageous space where you can be able to post it there and share it with your audiences to be able to access it, and maybe you can be able to also lock it under membership and people pay for them to be able to watch them. Okay, so if you have a YouTube channel that is paid for, you can access it, or you can upload your video on Vimeo and allow people to pay for them to be watching. So how you do your marketing and how you make sure that the movie reaches to a larger group of audience, it is up to now how you do your marketing. Okay, then the other bit is the streaming VOD platforms. You can decide to sell it to Netflix, sell it to Showmax, sell it to Amazon Prime, and any other platform that is willing to buy your content or license your content for a certain period of time. So once you shoot it, and you shoot it very nicely, you have a very nice and gripping story, that is how you can be able to just license. Look for a distributor who can take the product to those spaces, okay? Then the other thing that you can be able to look at into distribution is you can try like sell it to local TV stations. I'm not sure if right now the local TV stations are buying, like Citizen, KTN, NTV, K24, and TV47. I'm not sure if they're buying, but you can try. Maybe they have a space whereby they are showing African content or they're showing local content. You can give them your content to license. You can license them your content so that they can show it for a particular period of time. They pay you something, you earn something out of it. Yeah, and maybe if it's an exclusive, you're good to go to also distribute it in many other TV stations so that you can be able to tell your story and maybe reach out to a lot of audiences. The other thing is, take your film to festivals. If you have an opportunity to submit your film for festivals, for it to get a wider view and a wider audience, yes, take your film to festival, please. Don't ignore some of these festivals, because they will really help you even to network and also just develop your storytelling skills when you meet other people and other filmmakers from those particular spaces, so that you can be able to grow and become a better storyteller, a better filmmaker. Okay, so distribution in film festival is another thing that you need to look at, and you can consider it. Then the other thing is you can decide to do community screenings. Yes, so whereby you just go to a community or maybe a university or a school, depending on the kind of movie you've done. You go to a community, you go to a school, you go to a university or any other space and showcase your movie and invite people to come and watch. Of course, this comes with a lot of processes and even production quality, and also the kind of audience you're targeting. So if you have a story that is really relevant to university students, why not distribute it across the universities so that people can be able to watch and resonate with your story, and also just be able to pay for it, and you earn something out of it, because they won't be coming in to watch for free. But now you do proper marketing to them so that you don't get empty halls. Okay, good. Yeah, so I think for the question of distribution nimejibu. Then another question is, what are some of the licenses? I think these are documents needed to be secured before getting into filming. Yeah, so this one is a bit of a debate, because I don't know, most of us, if we follow these kind of procedures yet, but being that we are independent and we don't have budgets, we work with maybe low budget or zero budget movies. So of course I'm going to mention some of the things you'll need to acquire. And of course right now, because these documents you're going to get them from KFCB, you can visit their website and check the kind of documents you're going to get. So of course I'm going to mention them here, but what I want us to understand is, I know KFCB recently was disbanded, then again it is still operational, but I prefer it being operational rather than being disbanded, so that we can be able to have, instead of us struggling to understand where are we going to get some services for certain stages of production, maybe until they provide a space whereby we are going to get a space whereby we are going to get things to do with, where we can get licenses, where we can do our classification and stuff like that. We still need that body in place. Okay, so of course one of the documents you need to acquire is the film license. So film license is a document that allows you, that you are explaining, like, I'm a filmmaker and I'm making this particular movie. You give a title of the movie that you're working on, so the license will be labeled the title of the movie that you'll be working on. Okay, so this license is acquired from KFCB, and it has some charges you pay for it depending on the type of project you're working, especially for if you're doing a short film, or maybe you're shooting features or you're shooting documentaries. You need to, there's a fee you pay to get that license. The other license, maybe the other document you will get from KFCB also is the filming permit. Filming permit is that permission paper that will allow you to be filming. The many days that you'll be filming, you have to acquire a permit from the KFCB. So you tell them, I'm filming for 10 days. Now you get a permit. So again, I felt this is a bit of double taxation. Why am I getting a license and then I'm paying for a permit to shoot every day? Yeah, subject to discussion, and I don't know where KFCB guys mmefika wapi to update. Then kuna another document that you'll need to acquire is locations permit. So of course you might go to a location whereby you've borrowed a location, or maybe you're using a B&B, or you're using someone's private property. Make sure they give you permission. They just give you a written permission. Of course tuna ignore, because hii sasa ni property ya anko, hii ni property ya beshte ya anko, hii ni property ya nani ya beshte ya mari. We will ignore, but it's better when we have written permission, because sometimes these things might come to affect us and eat us some other time in the near future. Because when somebody realizes that, oh, your movie has grown big, and the jealousy in them start manifesting, they will say, even I don't know how these people came to shoot at my premises. This is my premise and I never gave them permission. So the only proof they have is that you don't have anything written to show that you are given permission to shoot in that space. So of course you'll be sued, and maybe you will be charged to pay for something that maybe you had already paid for, or you ignored. So get location permits from the owners of the locations so that you can be able to continue with smooth shooting. The other document you might need is work permits. So work permits, especially for foreigners. If you're working with foreigners, unajua kuna wale wenye wanakujaga beshte yako Nigeria amekuja hapa amefika Kenya, unamwambia oga can you shoot content? Can you shoot content? We shoot content in Kenya. Yes. So when they are coming in, like, make sure you just get them a work permit from the immigration department, so that it doesn't bring trouble once your project grows big, because sometimes projects they grow big, and then people will be like, this person shot in Kenya, did he have a working permit? Then kaboom, then you start other cases nini. So people say, oh, wananioneaga wivu nikikuwa wewe hukufuata sheria. So those are some of the documents that you will need to have before you start filming. Guys, that's it for today. Allow me to stop there. I've answered 5 questions. So on the next episode and other times, I'll be answering more questions, and keep them coming. Use this contact here, use my number, use my email to contact me, so that you can reach out and let's have a conversation, and post in your questions, and let us answer whether in the comment section or even myself on how we can be able to improve production in this country and in this continent. Thank you so much, and see you on to the next one. Cheers.